A hotel, under construction, and in seconds it's gone. Let me show you what happened. As we discussed in the last video, collapses almost always have multiple causes at once. Here we see it happen. Within seconds, the building is flat. Let's watch it again, up close. Here's the location on Google Maps. The fence, you see here, you can spot it in the footage too. Here's a quick look at how it looked just before it came down. Now let's go through it frame by frame. We can see that the right side comes down just a bit quicker than the left side. Let's check the next frame. The left follows, but slightly slower. Next frame. They come down at roughly the same time. Everything happens in split seconds. The first movement the building makes is to the right. So the failure point is on the right side. Most likely one or more overloaded columns. The core is carrying the entire building, with more weight hanging on the side than on the other. So on the right side in this case. And that's when it goes. When we remove one column in the model, you can see what happens. The beam creates a bottle opener effect, and the next column snaps. The pattern continues across multiple columns, rapidly. Concrete normally warns. The damage was there, and it was just ignored. The storm and the rain were the final straw. Here we see the hotel under construction in Angeles City in the Philippines. Look closely at that sign. In the next scene we see the exact same sign, but this time without the building in the background. The structure has completely collapsed, leaving nothing but debris. The building came down at 3 AM. That exact moment 30 workers were sleeping inside. This is what the collapse looks like. Let's take a look at the massive risk we can spot in this construction, because as any engineer knows, these kind of progressive collapses never happen for just one single reason. Here we see a top view of the collapse. The building fell right on top of the yellow building. Here we see the street view, with the hotel on the right side falling slightly to the left. This is a view from the other side of the street. This is an overview of the construction, where we can see the columns, beams, floors, a core and the footings. And this brings us to the first risk. Around the building there was only dirt, which makes it easy for rain to wash out the footings, leaving them with less support. We also know that during the collapse there was a severe storm going on, with heavy winds fully hitting the hotel, since there are no other high rises around. We can directly see that the top floor has walls, but no roof slab. Floors help with the stability of the building. Between the debris we see beam reinforcement without concrete, which means that these structural parts were not finished yet. The quality of the steel and the concrete is always something to doubt, since lower quality means higher profits for the contractor. If we zoom into the building, we also see that it has a core wall in one direction. Core walls are the most important factor for stability. The structural model only has 2 core walls in one direction, instead of a minimum of 3, or rather 4. What's also strange is that the floors are super thin. Floors carry wind loads to the core, but such thin floors are probably too weak for that. The story goes that there was also a swimming pool under construction on the 7th floor. Now we can see something that looks like this on Google Earth. If that pool under construction partially filled up with rainwater, it meant a heavy burden on an already weak construction. In this top view we also see how small the core is. This is the spine of the building. So, a full storm hitting the building, plus swimming pool loads, plus washed out footings, plus low quality materials, plus being under construction, combined with a floor and a core that cannot help the columns, make these outer columns the most likely to fail. When these columns collapse, the floors come down first. We can see that right here. The weight of the floors hangs completely on the other columns. These dynamic loads are fatal for the remaining columns, making them look like spaghetti. Follow and comment for more, and see you in the next video.